So, Stacey and her family moved up to Moscow while I was on my mission, and she got to know my family pretty well because her mom's like, Stacey needs people to hang out with, and she met our family, and she spent time with Nicole and Logan and Colin, and when I got back from my mission, she was there, and we got to spend a little time together over the summer as friends. Neither of us thought we'd date. Didn't think it would happen. She was going to school down here in Twin Falls, and I was in Moscow. It just didn't seem like a good thing to do. And then Christmas break came around, and ended up dating anyways.
He told me we were dating.
That's true.
He's like, we're dating.
Yeah.
Or I believe the way he put it was, all those boys down there in Twin Falls won't be able to, they'll be jealous. And I'm like, what? And he's like, we're dating. I'm like, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, we were gonna go on a hike. It was super exciting. Jonathan was gonna propose to me the next weekend. We talked about it. I'd specifically asked him, so when are you going to propose to me? And he's like, I can't tell you that. And I'm like, tell me what month. He's like, well, if I tell you what month, then you'll know. April. And I was like, oh, nice. I know when you're proposing.
Yeah, there was only one day that she was going to come up and visit during April. So.
Yeah. And so it was my spring break, which was about a week and a half before, and we were gonna go on a hike. He was super excited about it, and I'm like, oh, hike sounds fun. So he has to pick up something at work first, he says. And he brings out a soda, and we're not allowed to drink soda because we decided that we could only drink soda on special occasions because we don't want to get fat.
Yeah.
And so he comes out with the soda, and he just kind of like tries to hide it and pretend like he doesn't have it. And I'm like, that's kind of strange, you know? Puts it in his backpack, and then we go on this hike, or we go to where we're going on a hike. And we start driving up the mountain, and my car gets stuck in the snow.
Yeah, it's spring, but the mountain hasn't figured that out yet. So.
Yeah, so I was kind of getting nervous about getting my car stuck, and so we decided to go back down the
Well, we
mountain.
did get it stuck.
He got it unstuck. He was great. And he's like, I don't know if I can make it up the rest of the mountain. I know I can make it down. And I'm like, let's just go to the park. He looks really disappointed, which is not very normal for him. Usually he's up for anything. And I was just like, well, that's kind of weird. But we go to the park anyway, and we probably sit on the slides and swings for like 3 hours, and we just talk about everything. And then we get up to stretch, and he's like, Stacey, do you love me? Or how much do you love me? And I'm like, I love you more than soda. And enough to make this last forever. And he said, okay, let's go on a walk. And then like 3 to 5 seconds later, he's like, to this bench. And I'm like, well, that's really strange. And so he sets me down on the bench, and he kneels down. Really funny thing right now, I start laughing. Because he's done this to me twice.
Not intentionally, but there was one time in Twin Falls where one of her roommates had made an origami ring, and I pretended to propose to her there. And then
One time before we were dating, he did too.
Yeah, one of my leaders up in Moscow had a key ring, and he handed it to me. I tried and pretended that way too. So.
Yeah, so I laughed. I really didn't think he was being serious. We were getting engaged in a week and a half. And then he kind of pulled out a ring and looked at me seriously, and I'm like, dang it. I just laughed, and this was a serious moment. But then he's like, well, because we sit there kind of for a minute, and I'm like, you didn't ask a question. And then he did. He asked me if I would marry him, and I said yes.